What's up, guys? Welcome back to another one of my videos here. Now, in case you're wondering who's this guy you're looking at, don't worry, I know I've grown a beard, but it's still me. Still the same guy in the display picture. But anyway, today what I've got here for you guys is a Death Wish deck. It's Overwhelming Hunger. And no, there's no V in this deck, which is why I've called it not a V deck. I'm sure everyone else out there, like me, is probably traumatized from seeing this leader ability symbol, because every time you see it lately, it's just a V that you're coming up against. But as for me, I've got a different kind of style with this Overwhelming Hunger deck that I've decided to put together. So basically, the defining features of this deck is that, I guess, with any Death Wish deck, it's wise to use Faunt. It's quite a strong play. So we've got Scenario in here. Now, the interesting touch of mine that I've added in is the Frightener, which I've put in here. So after 3 allied units have been destroyed, we can awaken this unit. This unit is quite good for value. At 9 provisions, it gives us a 12-point unit. It's also having immunity, so it's not easy to remove. The opponent can't target it manually. And overall, it works quite well with the synergy of our deck, because we have a Death Wish deck with our leader ability. That alone can allow us to destroy 3 of our own units to trigger this card. Also with the Scenario, it kind of easily allows us to trigger the card, as well as naturally just our opponents removing our units on the field. It's not really too hard to achieve, in all honesty, which is what I've found so far with it. Also, we have Glusty here. The way we're going to look to activate this card is by using the rats, which are spawned off our Noon Wraiths and Night Wraiths in this deck. We're going to use Glusty to consume them. So that has been working quite well. And I know I could have added Osril in here. It's also a 9 provision cost card because we've got Egan and Goliath in this deck. However, I find that Glusty, it provides better value than Osril. We can hit higher points with this card than Aussie would. So we also have some other good cards, such as Imperial Manticore here, the Beast, and Phantom. And down below here, we just got some other cards to really help us get out of the first round. We also have a Purify unit in here. Say if we're coming up against a Kolgrim deck where they play a defender to protect Kolgrim, we can just keep this handy, purify the defender initially when you see it, and you can just heat wave Kolgrim straight off the bat, just like that. So how to play this deck? As I've outlined on the thumbnail for this video, I've had 100% win rate against V, and I'll just briefly explain how to do that now before I get into how to play this deck. So for those of you who are interested in how we do that, it's quite simple. I've never lost a match against V with this deck. What you do is you just need the combination of Goliath and Heat Wave at the time. As long as you got those 2 cards, you're good to go. And what you'll do is you initially, obviously, you want to make sure the opponent's playing a V deck. So wait until you see V consumed. Then what you're going to do is you drop Goliath and you just play on. And then what you can do is you use one of your leader charges on Goliath. That drops V out onto the field, and then you can just heat wave it directly. And that's it. The whole strategy is done. And usually they'll either forfeit or they may play on, but they don't have much of a play after that because, you know, the whole deck is kind of around drawing V from the deck and consuming and boosting. So that's how you get 100% win rate against V. So the way we'd like to play this deck is we have Egan here and Goliath. Those are for the first round. It's to ensure that we win the first round, guys. Because we're using Glusty, we're relying on Glusty quite heavily. So what we want to do is make sure we win the first round so that we play Glusty in the end. It's not going to get removed, and it's going to allow us to secure the victory of the match. So try to push hard to win the first. And so Egan, in that sense, is just for a point slam. Same with Goliath, good point slam. In the first, you can commit the Beast, you can commit Phantom. That should really help us win. We also have some good momentum play with the Wild Hunt Riders. Kiki more workers, I'm not a huge fan of because they can get removed if their armor gets destroyed. So kind of 50-50 with that, but it's just for the sake of having some decent point plays. We can drop Spontaneous Evolution onto the Phantom or the Kiki more workers for good value. And basically, we want to keep our Noon Wraiths and Night Wraiths towards the end of a match. And the idea is that we spawn as many rats as we can in the final round, and we're dropping Glusty down to consume all the 1-powered point units, because as we know, Glusty, the way it works is he'll boost himself by 2 for each 1-power unit which is destroyed, which is what he does on deploy. So yeah, this deck will work well. If you win first, it will give you the best chance of winning with this deck. If we lose the first, it's probably not good, because if we get bled, I mean, it's not really good for us. We may have to spend some good units we will need for a good overall victory. So keep that in mind. If there's any questions you have, any comments you'd like to share, please feel free to do that down below. I hope you guys enjoy this deck guide along with the following matches. And thank you so much for tuning into my videos, as always, watching my content. If you're a long-time viewer but you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. It just helps my channel to grow, helps me produce more content at a larger scale for you. I'm trying to make my channel as big as possible, so if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get right into it.
That's Thai cellmate power.
Where the Empire has not yet reached.
Feeling a bit peckish? never slip in my chain. Confounded boots. The blister.
Beaters, forward!
Let the hunt begin.
What is it you want?
My loyalty is to Imperial coin, not to the face depicted thereon.
Just a peek. That is all I need.
Meat is best served bloody, bathing in its juices.
Used to be, I hunted game. Men bring more coin.
Discipline. That is what you folk lack.
I shall never be alone again. Have I something in my teeth? The moon, how bright it shines.
Barbarian soul.
Thinking can be hazardous to your health.
Don't look to me for mercy. You shall find none.
Silence.
Offering accepted.
The North shall tuck tail and beg for mercy.
I shall relieve him of all burdens.
Bow, barbarian. Bow low.
With me, you'll forget your sorrows.
The dark is my ally. The dark is my friend.
I shall be your eyes, my lord. Let us see.
Quite the menial task.
Beneath the sun. Silence.
Few poachers dare venture into the Von Morloham's wood. follow them. Time to get our hands dirty.
This one is nearly drained. Fetch me another!
Confounded boots.
The hounds are caught a scent.
The heat I cannot bear!
I demand justice, a trial by ordeal.
Offering
accepted.
I hate nothing more than a creaky door.
Offering accepted. Give no quarter!
Okay, so it looks like we're versing a movement deck here. Let's get right into it. Okay, so remember we're keeping these for the end, so we don't need that in the opening. We'd also like to keep Noonwraith for the end as well, so we don't necessarily need that. Predatory Dive's pretty good here. We can just take out any unit that they decide to possibly boost that with. So let's see. Okay. So I mean, we can just heat wave that right now.
Stand. Hi ho, hi ho.
Okay. So we could use this now. Unfortunately, we don't have our big point slams. We don't have Egan or Goliath to help us kind of secure the first hit. So I'm not sure as far as winning this first round goes. Let's see how long this lasts. Okay. Ah, that's not good. I was looking to boost it with this if it survived, but anyway. Yeah, not looking good for us, guys. We kind of didn't get a good draw here for the first. Okay, so let's take the pass here. Yeah, that was a really unfortunate hand for us. We didn't really have something that we needed for the first. It's kind of all our ending cards. Cool. Okay, so they want a long round. So obviously we've got to look out for row effects, right? If they're a movement deck, we're expecting that. We're expecting them to try to set up all our units on a single row. So let's kind of keep that in mind as we go into the final round here. I mean, I don't know how much we can account for that, considering we're going to have a lot of units on the board with the Night Wraith spawning rats everywhere, so let's see guys, how we go. So initially opening up, it's good just to get our Frightener down on the board, because we can start tallying up our units getting destroyed right away if the opponent wants to start taking out our units. So that's going to help towards the Dormant activating, the Frightener, sorry, activating itself into the construct here. So we can start off like this. We can drop it late and just kind of look to consume it with something, or use a leader charge on it. Still is going to give us a lot of points, so it's good to keep into the final. Why not? Oh, okay. See, I guess that's a good thing, about us taking the Frightener into the final round, because it allows us to kind of bait out an opponent's heat wave and still gives us a very strong play here with Haunt. So it's not so much of a huge loss, I guess. But again, 12 points immunity would be nice to have. So I'm looking to get the Beast up and running soon, obviously, so we'll probably play Noonwraith now. Go like this. So remember, even though 2 rats are spawning on the opponent's side, Glusty's gonna consume that, consuming all 1 power units on the board, so keep that in mind. I'd like to play the Beast next, just so we get that value. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Lock and reset, nice. So let's go like this. So the thing with the rats on their side, we're gonna be careful with Manticore. So we're gonna time this play well, so we get good value out of it, obviously. kind of waiting to see what he's going to play after this, and probably will Parasite. I'm expecting Cat Witcher Adept. Okay, here we go. Wow. Committing all leader charges for that. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Okay. Can play again now, and we can just use a leader charge on it. You know, it's safe. Even though it's got 4 armor, you can just go like this. Okay. Yeah, there we are. That's what I was saving Parasite for.
That's right. I like
Because obviously this is the issue, isn't it? This is more of an issue than this card here, so let's just take that out now. So I'm expecting them to have like Curse of Corruption, possibly as well. Okay. Yep. So what's the next play here? So we're gonna play Glusty right before this, because the lowest enemy is the rat, so it's not really gonna give us good value. It's probably good to play this now, the Night Wraith. I'm just weary of playing it here if he's got Gezras possibly. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll just leave it like this for now. And we can use our 1 remaining charge on Imperial Manticore, and then the other on a Night Wraith. Yeah, there's Gezras, see? I knew it. Yep, I knew it. Okay, let's play Glusty now, because obviously he's gonna boost all the units in this row, and then we won't be able to get value out of that. So let's go. Let's go like that. Let's go down here. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, now let's get some decent value out of Manticore. So we can just go like this. And like this. That's it, guys. Let's see what he finishes up with. Yep, I expected some removal. Wow, excellent, guys. Look at the score on that. That's great. That's a very good result for us. Okay.